Yo, what's up, everybody? Ladies, gentlemen, Hassan, Sungrad, Mutahar, Mutahar, how's it going, Mutahar? Yo, how's it going? What's up? Remember me? Probably not because we never spoke, despite the fact that we live in the same city and everything. You're so busy engineering and shit. I can't get a hold of you. Such a busy engineer. So, like, a video comes out about India's poop throwing festival. Mind you, Mudahar is a Muslim, a proud Muslim. Ah man, one day, just one day, okay. And I was just like watching the video. It just pops up on my feed, my like recommended, whatever. I'm just scrolling down. I see it. I see it again. It goes from like a couple 100,000 views to like 500,000. I'm like, dog. If tomorrow it's like over 1 million, dude, it's like less 1 million in less than 24 hours. And it's like a twofold thing, right? One is you got people who are like, whatever, they're curious about it. They want to like, whatever, have a laugh at the Indians and stuff. And then the others are like all the people who are botting against the Hindus, like, oh, the Muslims, finally we get to throw shade at the Hindus. Finally we get to like, get some relief from all like the fucking, pedophile rape charges they're getting like fucking slapped with all around the fucking world and shit. Terrorists like from fucking back in the day. I was like watching this like well, it was like a news snippet documentary about this like guy, the Sikh guy who like killed this Canadian basically customs border agent or whatever officer, and like the Sikhs are celebrating it. Like, yo, dog, what happened to your country? Oh, that's right. It's a shithole. It's a shithole that you guys are so desperate to escape from. That you yourselves created, the hell that you created for yourselves. Like these Hindus are like, yo, man, my skin's too dark. You know what I mean? Like my beauty, I don't fit this beauty standard of like Bollywood. This fucking retard ass, like everyone's just like bleaching out their skin. Everyone's a fucking dumbass, and they got that stupid ass hair. You know that haircut that the Pakis and the fucking Punjabis have, whatever that fucking Paki ass hair, where it's just like, damn, this shit sucks. And then the Pakis are like, yo, let's like cut our hair like the fucking soccer players do. And this is you just like look at like some fucking helmet-headed retards and shit because like their face is round from all the inbreeding and shit. So when they cut their hair like that, it looks so fucking stupid. And then they get angry at everybody else. They're like, yo, you guys are racist. It's like, dude, if I was walking around with like a fucking dunce cap and shit with like fucking neon pink and green, fucking clothing and shit, and people made fun of me for that. I'm not gonna assume that they're racist. I'm gonna assume maybe it's me, man. But again, like the hell that they've created for themselves, right? We all remember body positivity. We all remember that you were the problem. You shouldn't be making fun of fat people. You shouldn't be making fun of, anorexic people. You shouldn't be making fun of this, fun of that, right? And what happened as a result of it? Okay, so the stock of Victoria's Secrets crashed. Like straight up crashed. It's like they came out with like a fucking show, right? And this is not me dissing on the models. I think the models are fucking hot. It's just like when you have diversity hires DEI on the fucking on the team, like beauty becomes trivial. It's like, okay, these girls, they exercise, they do the whole thing, right? The whole beauty routine, and then this fucker over here just was like, yo, I have a certain disability, I have a fucking ethnicity, I have this, and then they just get in, and like nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares about this like fucking multicultural stupid bullshit because we all see for like right through it. Like, why do the Sikhs have money? They've been exploiting their own poor ass people for generations now. Like almost one generation of exploiting your own fucking people. So it's like you have this rich motherfucker, well to do, lazy as fuck, his fucking kids are retarded and shit too. And he gets a bunch of fucking poor ass people to work for him for like basically next to nothing. Your government doesn't do anything about it, even though it's clear human rights violations because they're paid. They're paid off. Your fucking defense minister is a fucking dumbass Sikh. And you wonder why you have all these fucking Sikh ass problems and shit. It's because they want to rape kids. They want to rape children. And I was thinking about the reason why this is, and I figured it out. Like the difference between the older generations and the younger generations is simply pornography, right? The younger generations had easy access to pornography. You can get it for free if you know what you're doing. Obviously, you get viruses on your computer. Like this is me speaking from like my high school slash like early 20s era, right? Probably it's changed a little bit. It went from like these naughty sites and like whatever paid per view sites into like something more personal, right? Like the whole webcam business. Hence, Andrew Fate, and the hell that he created for himself. Like how much money do you think this guy has that he wasted on his fucking stupid ass cars and shit? And he's probably regretting right now because he's thinking to himself like, dog, I could pay my security, this and that, but I need to be protecting my kid, and especially in my silver age, like unless she married off to like a man who's got it like that, yo, I gotta be like protecting my kid up until like she's like 40, 50s shit against the fucking rape squad that I helped endorse. The fucking Muslim ass rape squad coming in your country, all guys on these boats and shit, eh? And they're still coming in. And people are just like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like, yo, how long is this going to be going on for? You have people riding in the streets. The cops are arresting the white people. The white. That's what they try to say to offend the people that basically you're dependent on like 100%. Like you want to fucking like shake your fist and spit at these white people. Guess what? You're fucking dependent on them. Like who's gonna hold like everything? Your garbage, your fucking power line, your sewers, your infrastructure. Like when you compare and contrast, right? You think you got it better back in your own country? You know you don't. You know you don't. Fucking Jaskarat, Sidhu. Motherfucker killed a bunch of kids. He's like, nah, I'd rather be the enemy of this entire nation and stay in this country than the shithole that me and my fellow Sikhs helped create. We built this fucking shithole country off of child rape and pedophilia and shit. And like, yo, coming out and you saying all this shit? No, not anymore. It's not politically incorrect because it happens on a near daily basis. That's right. There's this video coming out. Okay. More of the same, dog. Just as like, I think they're at the like a bus stop. These like Caucasian girls, and they're approached by the Punjabis. Oh, they want their hug. They want to kiss. And you want to know why that is? Okay, so imagine it like this, right? There's no off switch for you. You go out like a dumbass on Halloween, even though you don't have a girlfriend. And I said it, right? Your parents do not love you. You are just like a fucking anchor baby. Your stupid ass goes out to these nightclubs. You see a bunch of people. They're with their fucking, significant other, boyfriend slash girlfriend, whatever, right? And you're there singling, mingling with your fucking homies and shit. You came out like, 2, 3, 5, 10 strong. Wait, maybe to make it even better, to like sweeten the deal, maybe one of you guys actually does have a girlfriend, whether she's like an arranged marriage or not. But then you have to bear witness to it. You have to experience the suffering firsthand, and then you go home and you're like, "Fuck, why did I waste all that money for?" Dog, I went through the same thing too. But you know what? For me, it was like more racism. Whereas, like, I wanted a specific person with these criteria, this and that, and where, in hindsight, I was stupid for thinking that. And, like, like, a lot of people don't want to say this, right? But, like, you do a certain, like, type of thing where it justifies the reason why you're alone. And I could say that I did a bunch of things in the past that justify maybe overall why I was alone. Like on a personal basis, I'm like, the person, people who I was pursuing could disagree with me, and this and that. But like, I can admit that like I could have did things differently. I could have maybe better, or just like different. You know what I mean? And the reason why I bring that up is because, so like, a week passes, everyone's like, taking their Halloween pictures. I perved the fuck out. I went on Instagram, I'm like, oh my god, look at all these gorgeous girls in their Halloween costumes. I kind of wish I went out for Halloween. I was just getting high as fuck. I was like, whatever, dude. Well, like, and then they're just like foaming at the fucking mouth because not only did they miss the boat, proverbially. Well, they also realize that this is a world that is abstract to them, so they're just gonna like swing. You know what I mean? Just like take every fucking shot that you can take and not matter about the consequences. And these people are gonna have to deal with the relapse after the fact, after they've been rejected X amount of times and shit. So we all know how this is gonna end, right? Like you act as if like you have this bravado now, going up to these girls, touching them, they're telling you to go away, you're trying to forcefully kiss them. The whole world's seeing this, by the way, right? And the reason why I have to point this out, beyond like having my last name and skin color and the humiliation, is because of this fucking shit ritual, this shit throwing ritual. And you kind of feel as if like both physically and metaphorically, like Indians be like that. Like you want to throw shit at people, right? Like you want to throw shit at me. You want to throw shit at other people. Want to throw garbage in their countries and shit. You want to rape other people's kids and stuff. You want to like destroy their like border control, like just destabilize their entire nation because it is the hell that you've created for yourselves and your own countries and shit. And yet you want to basically apply it to the entire human race when you're so slowly getting it because like I get it, you're inbred, you're retarded. You're not gonna be able to pick up on this very easily, but like eventually you'll come to the realization that you're an imposter human being. You're fake. You have to impersonate people's mannerisms, their demeanor, like to qualify as being a human, and even then it's tenuous at best. Tenuous. So why do I say this, right? Like these are very maniacal things to say. This is like something like a fucking dictator with like a fucking whatever, right? Or so you've been told. So you've been told, right? All too often people are willing to call you Nazi or this or that, like call you the ultimate version of evil over a disagreement, over a very slight grievance, over something that is controlled in that environment. So like let's say you don't like people praying on the streets, like you don't like the Muslims praying on the streets. Oh, you're a racist. You must want all the Muslims to die. It's like, take it to the extreme, right? And how many times has your arm been twisted, right? So this Asmongold. Yo, I love Asmongold, man. I straight up learned so much from this guy, news wise, and just like for the entertainment purposes, and like about Twitch and all these like stooges and shit. Yo, go subscribe to Asmongold. Not like he needs me to tell you that, but it's just like whatever, man. Guy's a real one, all right? Because this is a new law in America, right? Let's say you want to apply for a visa in America, the great red, white, and blue. Sorry, no fatties. Wait, what? What do you mean no fatties? Like, I'm actually a little bit baffled. As a Canadian, I was under the understanding that there was no health insurance in America, right? That if you went to the doctors, the hospital, you're paying that out of your own pocket. So why would it be a liability for obese people to come into the country? And then I'm like thinking to myself, wait, what about like the whole overcrowding aspect? So if there's like a fire alarm pulled in like a movie theater, yeah, that's a fire hazard because the guy's like, oh, I'm struggling to move. I'm struggling to leave this like area, and people are like, possibly getting trampled, suffocating, this and that, because you have so many people who, let's be honest, they depend on the world. They depend on someone more physically capable for them to farm their food, to slaughter the animals that they eat, to basically do everything for them as they're stuffing their faces, relentlessly. Like they never take the responsibility upon themselves to say, hey, look, maybe I should stop eating so much, maybe I should exercise more, maybe I should do something to change my outlook on life, right? And I could understand, right? There's a 50% chance, like I'm not stupid about this, there's a 50% chance that a woman who gets pregnant will keep that weight that she had when she was pregnant, and it's going to be permanent. Like there's no way she's going to lose it outside of like liposuction or like extenuous exercise or even starvation. Like it is physically impossible for them to lose that weight. So to them, to for that instance, and for people with like the health complications, this and that, yeah, I could understand. But what are we talking about? We all know what we're talking about. We all know what we're talking about, okay? Like we all have moms, we all have grandmothers, we all have aunts. You know what I mean? Like there's a huge distinction between them and the younger generations, and we have to point it out, man. Like, why do you look this way? Why are you acting this way? Why are you eating so much? Why do you hate yourself so much? Why are you guzzling down your Tylenol to like get back at Trump, even though that's technically your body, your internal organs and shit. Just like doing that, and like again, I wouldn't like be surprised if these girls were doing it and they're just like faking it just to piss people off or whatever, to get the buzz and shit. I wouldn't put that by me. But then again, we're talking about the internet, how fucking dumb people are. So it's like you see these girls doing this, and you see this other girl like, yeah, it's this is the time we have to down an entire bottle of Tylenol because of RFK and Trump. You know what they're calling Trump? They're calling him Trump. These fucking liberal retards and shit. Girls are getting raped every fucking day. Every fucking day, dude. A little girl's getting raped because of you fucking bitch ass motherfuckers. And now you guys can't get citizenship in America. You want to know why? I also think that it's because like you get these people in your country, right? They're not physically fit, and they don't like you or themselves. They're just in like a constant like tragic realization that like life sucks because you're lazy or you're like you like the aforementioned. Like I have to bring that up because there are people who suffer from like physical abnormalities and like dispositions. Like pregnancy is one of those things where we're human beings. Like we have to be sympathetic for people who give life to us and say, hey, I understand. There are things that you can do and there are things that you cannot do, right? It's just like, you know what I mean? Like for me, I cannot have kids knowing that I'm going to take my kids to school one day and they're going to get raped by a bunch of fucking retards who are let into the country, no identification, no background checks, nothing. And they're given like the benefit of the doubt because they're Muslims or they're Sikhs or they're just like immigrants, a refugee as they call themselves. And we got to bring this shit up because apparently Muslims are the most racist people on the face of this planet, bar none. Bar none. And we have the proof of it. So they want to cry and block your cars, your traffic, attack people, attack Jews, this and that for Palestine. How many people died in Sudan in the past, what was it, like 48 to 72 hours? They say, the journalists, the analysts, something like 2 times the population of people who died in the Hamas war have died just recently. Why isn't anybody talking about this? Where's my Sudanese flags? People like talking about the RSF, and then the other side's just as bad. It's just like you can't necessarily root for either side. I also like I think I spent collectively an hour and a half trying to like comb over the information, and it's just as opaque as it gets. You have these two ethnic groups. They're both causing like committing atrocities against their civilian populations and stuff. And there is no, it's not like a black and white thing where have you one clear aggressor and one this, one that. It's like both groups have grievances going back to the formation of their country. And before Sudan, apparently it's split North and South Sudan, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, there was bad blood tension between these ethnic groups, these tribes, as you will, and the death toll is approaching the million mark. Well, actually, no, it's surpassed it. Sorry, it surpassed the million mark. Like again, like more people have died in this conflict than in the Palestinian conflict. So what the fuck were they crying about the whole time? Like this was happening for years too, and yet you don't hear anything about it. The news, nothing. And I'm beginning to see something like a pattern. Do black people get like disrespected on purpose, and like are systematically people are trying to wipe them out? Because if you actually see the ethnicities fighting in the Sudanese war and stuff, like yeah, there's like a lot of black people, but then there's like Pakistanis, Afghanis, Iranians jumping into this fucking war, and then it's like the victims, like the prime suspect, like the number one victim in all of this, regardless of the religion or regardless of like the tribe, whatever, is black people, young black people, young black women specifically. Like they're getting picked up, converted to Islam, this that, you being used as like war brides, if you will. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Why are Pakistanis called refugees when not only did they basically deport like a huge number, like in the millions, of Afghanistani people from their nation and shit, right? But at the same time, terrorist attacks are happening in their country by like the Taliban. I don't even give a fuck anymore. At this point, it's like you want to be this stupid ass fucking dumb religion, right? You want to take over the fucking world. Now you get what you fucking asked for. The hell that you've created for yourself and everybody else, you want to share it with us, right? You have to live with that shit. Because now, am I supposed to give a fuck about a terrorist attack on the poor Pakistani people who are running around the United Kingdom right now, raping children, gang raping children, along with the Sikhs too. The Sikhs have like, no, we're the defenders. We fought in these wars. We're proud soldiers. This and that. Like, dog, if you were to like take a look at the criminal records of the Sikhs overall, their fucking pedophilia and child rape and this and that, you will understand all too well why the grooming gangs, they're not like, they don't want to like, bring up the names. They don't want to talk about it. They say it's racist. What race, dog? What race? And white people are getting their shit pushed in, not only by all these fucking retards and shit, but by their own peoples. Yo, man, I'm subscribed to these like YouTubers and stuff. I'm not gonna name names, right? Because they're gonna get harassed easily. It's like, you bring up a white guy who's like, doing well for himself. You just put a fucking target on his back. Yo, man, protect my white peoples. Yo, white peoples be the new like minority nowadays. Yo, white people be the new minority. 2025, white people be a minority. You gotta stick up for the white people, my guy. What? I don't mean to mock you or anything. It's just like I find the juxtaposition funny because it's like, I went from being like at the mercy of the opposite of the contrast. But like, understand what I'm saying, sticking up for the white people and this and that. I'm talking about like the kids and shit. People like, I'm 40 right now, right? Like, you gotta put like your past grievances aside and realize like these young people are dealing with like the worst possible scenario from every single fucking angle you could imagine, right? We're talking like a bunch of illegals coming into their country, committing crimes. Your police don't want to police them and stuff. You're not allowed to own a weapon. You're told, you're not allowed to like, look good and stuff. And then Trump comes out, it's like, you can't come into America if you're overweight, if you're obese, if you're on. Imagine like the customs agents are told like, if they're not attractive, if they're not hot, deport. You see like these ugly fucklings getting deported out of the country. Like, why can't I come out of the country? I have a lot of money. Just get the fuck out of here, ugly. And them hoes who are part of these like religions, these cultures, they're about to get their backs blown the fuck out, my guy. Do you know what practice is? It's you. It's you. Your mans them are getting sent the fuck out of here. Alright? Everybody, we got your practice. My virgin ass is just like talking mad amounts of shit. But it is what it is, man. I grew up dealing with this kind of fucking nonsense my whole life, thinking to myself, and all these fucking losers around me, like, when are you having your kids? When are you having your kids? No, you don't tell me what the fuck to do. Nowadays, it's just like, and like I said before in my previous videos, like, it's not evil to say it anymore. Like, if you want to have kids, man, right? And you want to have kids to prevent other people from having kids, you feel me? Then that is the best, the greatest possible good that you can have in life. Because religions, all these things, were there to suppress you. They told, oh, these kings, these men with like large amounts of like wealth and knowledge, whatever the fuck that is, they can have all the women, all the children for themselves, the concubines. Yeah, fuck out of here, man. Practice makes perfect. And them bitches that come in your country, yeah, man. All right, everybody. Take care. Remember, they created it. You're just living in it.